welcome. Today this is a Hatha practice. We'll have options to add on or options to, reduce the load on your body and honor what's happening for you if you need that. So feel free to make any adjustments that work for your body as always. We want to make sure that it's working for us. Especially now that I'm teaching you this way, I have no idea what's happening in your body, so you need to be the judge of what's right for you and really honor what's happening for you. And if that means sometimes you're just in child's pose instead of the position that we're in, or a comfortable, supportive posture for yourself, then that's your yoga today. So do what's right for you. We're going to start in Balasana, child's pose. So if a traditional child's pose is comfortable for you, where we sit back to the heels, if that's not comfortable sitting to the heels, sometimes even just a blanket between your heels and your glutes might make it a bit more comfortable for you. Alternatively, when we come forward, if you need to lift off your heels, that's okay too. If you're comfortable, knees together, keep them together. Otherwise, if you need a little bit more space to come forward, maybe the knees are apart. So it's really, even from the first posture, honoring what's happening in your body today. So then when we're ready, we'll just start to walk the hands forward. Even with the position of your arms, honor what's happening for you today. So maybe the fingers are forward, soften through the elbows, and maybe the forehead comes to the mat. Maybe you might choose to stack your fists and place them underneath your forehead. That might help you to be a little more upright. Or if you're somebody that likes the variation where the hands are wrapped back towards the heels, you might choose that option instead. Whatever position you choose and whatever's right for you today, make sure that you're settling in, you're not holding any tension in the body. We use our first posture, our child's pose today, to really settle into our body and feel what's happening for us. Sometimes just with those first few moments of quiet, of tuning into our breath, of checking in through our body, that can be a guide for where we go and what happens throughout the practice today. So with your forehead forward, make sure the shoulders are relaxed. They're not drawing up to the ears in an uncomfortable way. Maybe they are flowing to the ears because we're forward, but they're soft and relaxed. We have a nice curve through the back. You might notice the breath a little more through the back body. As we have that expansion through the back, you might really be aware of each breath as it enters the body and opens, and then as the breath leaves and the body gently contracts. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. From here, wherever your arms have been laid, we start to draw them back towards the knees. And then breathe in and slowly start to bring yourself all the way up. Even just in our child's pose, we had compression through our belly, through our hip area. We had a bit of compression there. So we're toning and activating our reproductive organs, our bladder, pancreas, liver. So even just in the most passive, relaxing pose, we're already starting to stimulate and work through our internal organs. From here, let's breathe in and just start to sweep the arms wide, starting to wake up the body. Bring the palms together above the head. And then exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. Moving with our breath, there's no hurry. Take a deep breath in, feel the arms, the chest, the body expand and open. And then breathing out, slowly we bring our hands all the way down to the heart. Breathing in again. And exhale the hands to the heart. From here, we're going to walk our hands forward so that we come through to an all fours position. Maybe the knees get a little bit wider. Breathe in here. And as you breathe out, start to slide back to a child's pose-like position. When you next need to inhale, coming all the way back up to an all fours position, rocking forward. And then breathing out, rocking all the way back. Warming up the body a little more as we go. Breath in, coming all the way up. The breath is linked to the movement. And then breath out, extending back. Breathing in, coming back up. We're going to add on to this. Breathing out, flowing back. You stay here if you need. Keep with this movement, or perhaps this time as we breathe in, we come up. And as we breathe out, bend the elbows and come all the way forward through, flat onto your belly. Breathing in, push all the way back up. And breathing out, flow back through towards the heels, similar to our swan moving posture. Breathing in, coming up. And breathing out, lower forward if you can. Stay with the rocking forward and back if that suits your body better. Breathing in, push back up. Breath out, lengthen back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Make sure the core is engaged. Breathing out. One more time. Breath in, coming up. Draw the navel into the spine, lowering yourself all the way down in front. We pause here now. If you've just been rocking backwards and forwards, you'll come through to your belly when you're ready. Then from here, we're going to bring our hands, stack our palms one on top of the other, and rest our forehead down onto the back of our hands. I'm going to keep my head up so you can hear me talking, but for you, keep your forehead connected down to the back of your hands. Make sure the spine is in a nice long position. We're not curved to one side, length here. And then as we breathe in, let's lift our head with our arms. Keep the gaze down towards the mat. Breathing out, lower gently to the mat. Breathing in, coming up as much as you're comfortable. We're activating into our adrenal glands, strengthening the lower back. Breathing out, lower all the way back down to the mat. Breathing in, coming all the way up. Breathing out, lowering. You can stay with that gentle movement if that suits your body best. Otherwise, if you'd like a little bit of a further add-on, sweep your arms down beside the body, turn the palms to face up. From here, if you're coming with me, chin rests to the mat. And then breathe in, draw your shoulders down the back, lengthen the arms down and away. Keep the gaze low, lifting up. Breathing out, slowly lower yourself all the way back to the mat. Stay with the option that's right for you. Be careful of the low back. Breath in, lifting up wherever you're comfortable, whatever's right for you. And breathing out, we lower. Breathing in. Breathing out, release. Breathing in. Last one. See if you can hold here for a breath. Take another breath in. Lift a little higher if you can. And then as you breathe out slowly, one vertebrae at a time. The arms come back to the mat. Turn your face to one side. Rest the chin down towards the shoulders. Let the shoulders rest in. And then bring the feet up towards the ceiling and just lower the feet from side to side. Windscreen wiper legs. Get a little bit of release here through the low back. And then from here we come back to a neutral position. Lower the feet back to the mat. Now you can stay with either option that we've already practiced. Maybe hands are under the forehead, maybe hands are drawing back. Or if you would like to, if it's within your practice to come through a few cobra poses, we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Bring your feet together behind your body if you're coming into cobra. Swami would always say, a snake only has one tail, so we want to have our feet together behind the body. Chin might rest towards the mat here, or maybe forehead to the mat. Hands are firmly planted under the shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and the elbows hug into the ribs. From here, stay with the movement that suits your body. Breathing in, push down with the hands. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. The elbows are still drawing into the sides. Remember, they're not out away from our sides. They're hugging in nice and close. You'll notice my elbows are still off lock. Breathing out, we release. With control, we're not flopping back to the mat. Every movement is with intention. Breathing in when you're ready. Start to lengthen all the way up. Shoulders draw down the back. Space between the shoulders and the ears. Elbows are hugging in. Make sure they're off lock. And then breathing out, slowly release back to the mat. Let's come up one more time. With a breath in, we draw all the way up. If you can, if it's within your practice, we'll hold here today. So check that the arms are relaxed, but the elbows are locked into the sides. We're supporting our body. There's space between the shoulders and the ears. Take another breath at the top. And then if you can, for a count of 10, we'll lower. Only if it's right for your body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time when you get to the mat, turn your face the opposite way. So facing in the opposite direction than before. The chin will come to the shoulder. Turn the palms to face up. Let the arms rest and bring your feet up towards the ceiling again. Lower the feet from side to side. Get a release through the low back. And then we'll bring our feet back to the center. Lower the feet back down. Bring the hands up underneath the shoulders. We'll push all the way up and sit all the way back to child's pose again. We're just here for a moment now. With all of our back bends, we've had compression through the low back, which is great to strengthen our back, but sometimes it brings tension in. So every time we were arching our body, now we want to counter pose. So we want to move our body in the opposite direction. which is when we're going to, sort of curve our spine here and come forward for a few moments. Take a couple of moments, take a few breaths. Let the head relax to the mat. And then from here, we're going to walk our hands in and slowly bring ourselves all the way up. We're coming forward to all fours. Hands are underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips. From here, let's breathe in and start to sweep our left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And then breathe out, thread through, look through underneath the right arm. Breathing in, come all the way back through, reaching and lifting. Breathing out, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right, reach through to the right side. Breathing in, come all the way up. This time, breathing out, flow through. Come down onto your left shoulder, left side of the face. We're going to hold here. Maybe you sweep your right hand forward, or maybe the right hand stays in front of the face. You can always reach your arm back behind if this is an option that you usually take. Taking a couple more breaths here and thread the needle, getting a nice opening through the shoulder blades, around the upper body. Wherever your right hand is, we slowly start to bring it in front of the face. Push down with our right hand and breathe in. Sweep the left hand all the way back through and lift up. And then breathing out, bring the hand back to the mat. Coming through to the other side, correct your alignment if you need to. We'll breathe in now, sweep the right hand up. And then breathing out, flow through, sweep the arm underneath the left, look towards the right fingers on the left side. Breathing in, reaching, extending, opening. And breathing out, flow through. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, this time we're bending our left elbow, flowing through down onto the right shoulder. Let the hand rest here. You might keep your left hand in front of your face. Maybe your left hand extends forward if this is the option that you like and thread the needle. Or maybe you might be sweeping your hand through towards the lower back or wrapping it down towards the right thigh. Whatever's right for you. We hold here and thread the needle. Getting a really nice opening here through the upper body, around the collarbone space, the shoulder blades. When we're ready, we'll start to bring our left hand back in front of the face. Push down with the left hand and breathe in, sweep the right hand all the way back through, lengthen all the way up. And then breathing out, bring the hand back to the mat. Check back in, make sure your all fours position is good. We've got hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to come through to a hip opener now, our pigeon pose. Where we would normally come through to this from a downward dog, something a little bit different today. We're just going to come from all fours. So let's lengthen our left leg back behind us. Maybe you can lengthen the leg directly back, or maybe you need to keep the knee bent. It's okay, whatever's right for you. Let's just get a little bit of an opening here. Start to rotate the hip, drawing a really big circle with your foot. Then change the direction, go back the other way. And then we'll come back to still. We want to sweep our left knee now right through behind our left wrist. Connect here if you can, and then slide your right leg back. Your left foot might come over towards your right hand side. Maybe if I turn a little bit more, you might be able to see. So maybe you have your left foot over to the right side a little way. You have your knee safely in a safe position. There's no pain in there. The hands, you might walk them back towards you and really lengthen back through the right leg, and then relax the toes. Take a breath in at the top. Stay here if you choose. Or as you breathe out, you might start to lengthen your arms forward. Maybe you come through towards your elbows. Maybe that's where you are today. Make sure you're not collapsing back into the hip or the glute. Sometimes we sort of draw back and it releases. But we're not getting the right stretch here. We're not targeting the right area. So try and keep the hips aligned to the top of the mat. If you are happy, if you're somebody that can, you might choose to rest your forehead down to the mat. Really get comfortable. Choose what's right for you here. For some of us, it's a little bit uncomfortable to be here. As long as there's no pain, as long as it's maybe just an uncomfortable stretch, stay for as long as you can. But if there is pain, maybe it's not right for you today, and you can come out whenever you need. From here, depending on where you have your hands, you'll start to bring them back towards your knees. Bring them all the way back as much as you're comfortable, and lengthen through the back, through the chest, so you come into more of an upright position. Now, if you want to stay here for a couple of breaths, you can. If you'd like to walk your hands onto the inside, so both my hands now on the right side, you might stay there. If you'd like an extension, you might start to bring your right foot up towards the ceiling. Maybe the foot just points up and you stay there, or maybe with the right hand you can reach back and take hold of your foot. Take through from the inside, the arch side. If you're somebody that likes an extension, and this won't be for everybody, you might bring your foot into your elbow crease. You can stay there, or if you can balance, you might be able to release the hand and bring it through, interlacing your hands, balancing in mermaid pose. Check that this is right for you. We're not extending too far. Make sure that this is the right position for your body to be in if you choose the add-on. Staying with the hands firmly grounded, the legs still long if you choose. One more breath. And then we slowly release the hand. Slowly release the leg. So it's not a jolty, quick movement. It's a slow release. Plant both of your hands now. Tuck your back toe and slide your right knee in. Let's release our left leg back. Bring your knees underneath your hips again, your hands underneath your shoulders. Let's tuck our toes before we come through to the other side. And just come into a downward dog for a couple of breaths. So when you're ready, we breathe in, lift the knees. Breathe out, lengthen back.
You might stay with your knees really bent and just keep lengthening the chest towards the thighs. Or maybe you have a little more space to lengthen your legs. It's really up to you today. Honor what's happening in your body. And then we'll slowly come all the way down. We'll move through to the other side now. So lengthening the right leg back and make some circles. Remember, you can keep the knee bent if that's what's right for you. Soften in the body if you need a gentler option. Rotate back the other way. And then come back to stay. We slide our right knee behind our right wrist. Maybe you notice here, maybe it's better to see on this side actually, but the foot sort of comes through to the left side. And then we're lengthening our left leg back. So you might almost find that your foot is underneath your left heel. Now walk your hands back. If you choose, you can stay here in the upright position. If this is where you need to be today, that's okay. Maybe you breathe in here. And maybe as you breathe out, you might be coming through towards the forearms. Maybe this is where you are today. If you're comfortable, you might be bringing your forehead towards the mat. Maybe the arms are lengthened through in front. It's your choice here. And honor what's happening on this side. Sometimes we assume that because we're able to do something on one side of the body, we should be able to do it on the other side. But that doesn't always happen. That's not always how our body works. We have sometimes more length or more flexibility, more strength in one side than the other. And we just accept that, we honor that. We can work on that, that's not a problem. But if it's painful, if it hurts, soften and go back. There's no competition, especially when we're at home. You know, we don't need to strive to get anywhere in particular. We just want to really feel into the body. I'll stop talking now. But yeah, let's take a couple of breaths wherever we're comfortable here. Ekapada Raja Kapudasan, our pigeon pose. Check that you haven't collapsed back into your right hip. Your hips are still level, facing in the direction of the short end of your mat. And then let's start to bring our hands into the knee. We breathe in and lengthen all the way up. You can stay here in your upright position. If this is where you need to be, pause here. Take a couple more breaths here. You'll notice that, you might notice a change in sensation through the hip as we hold here. If you'd like to try the extension, don't force or strain, only if it's right for you. I know sometimes people like to have a little bit of an option to add on. The hands will come to the left side this time. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you can just bring your foot all the way up, the left foot up to the ceiling, and maybe you hold there. Or maybe the left hand can take hold of the foot on the arch side, and maybe that's where you stay. You'll notice a change in sensation through the hip flexor. You'll notice how that feels different immediately. You might be able to stay there. Maybe you're going to slide your foot into the elbow crease, and maybe that's where you stay. Or if you can balance, don't hurt yourself, only if it's right for you. Maybe you can bring your hands together. Maybe you can bring your hands together and balance here, opening
in mermaid pose. Finding a still spot helps with our balances, even when we're in a lower position. Keeping the gaze fixed. You'll notice even when I looked up towards the camera, fell a little bit there. So it goes to show that even just keeping the eyes still, the gaze still, can help us wherever we are. When we're ready, we'll release. Slowly release the hand. Slowly releasing the leg. Very slowly the foot comes to the mat. Bring the hands through in front. Tuck your back toe. Slide the knee in a little way. And let's release our right leg back. Slow movements. You'll notice now the hips might feel really open. Maybe there's a different sensation here. Let's plant our hands under our shoulders. Remember, as we come into downward dog, choose the option that's right for you. If you need to leave down dog out, that's okay. You might choose instead to come back to a child's pose. Tucking the toes if you're coming with me. Breath in, draw the knees up. Breath out, lengthen back to the thighs. Keep the knees bent, or maybe lengthen up a bit higher. Maybe the heels stay lifted, or maybe your heels can come to the mat. There's no right or wrong. It's just what's right for your body in downward facing dog. Keep lengthening the chest back to the thighs. Draw the tailbone back to the wall behind you. And then from here, we're going to walk our feet to the top of the mat. As many steps as you need. Bring your feet together. Maybe you choose to bend the knees. Let's breathe in. Sweep your arms wide and start to bring ourselves all the way up. Connect the palms above the body and exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to come through a little bit of a flow now, vinyasa. Through Surya Namaskar A, so one of the sequences from the Ashtanga series. If you're familiar, you're welcome to move at your own pace if you prefer. We're going to go a little bit slower at first, and then we might move a little bit faster. Just 2 rounds today. Feet are together, hands in prayer at the heart. Let's breathe in and sweep our arms wide. And then breathe out, swan dive forward, bring our hands down. Fingers might come towards the mat or maybe on top of the feet. Breathe into a flat back, look forward, soften the knees if you choose. Breathing out, lengthen your head towards your knees. Plant your hands, your choice here, whether you step, walk or jump back to plank. Knees can come to the mat if you choose. Lengthen here from the crown of the head to the heels, navel into the spine. Breath in. Breath out. Knees to the mat if you choose, or chaturanga. Elbows come in towards the body. Slowly lower yourself all the way down. Breathe in to cobra if you choose, or up dog if it's in your practice. Up dog, arms are locked into position, shoulders draw down the back, and we're balancing on the top of the feet. From here, roll over the toes, exhale back to downward facing dog. Step the feet in if you need. Keep the knees bent if that's what's right for you. You might even choose to walk the dog here, bending one knee, lower the opposite heel. We've got 5 breaths here. Breath in 3. 4. 5. Breath out, 5. Looking between the hands now, your choice. You might step, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to a flat back and look forward. Maybe fingers stay to the mat or maybe they rest to the shins. Exhale, head to knees. Inhale, sweep the arms wide, coming all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, Samasthiti here. Inhale again, second round. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back, look forward. Exhale, head to knees. Plant your hands, step, walk or jump back to plank. Inhale here, knees are a good option if you choose. Exhale through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Adjust your dog to suit you. Bend the knees if you need. You can even come down to child's pose if you prefer, if that's enough for you today. We have 5 breaths here again. Breath in 2. Breath in 3. 4. Breath in 5. Looking between the hands, your choice. Step, walk or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to a flat back, look forward. Exhale, head to knees. Inhale, sweep the arms wide, coming all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti here. Pause here. Hands rest in prayer to the heart. Closing the eyes. Check in with your body. Notice the heart rate. Notice where the breath naturally flows to. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the space that your body takes up in your home. From here, let's gently open the eyes and breathe in, sweep the arms wide. Breathing out, release our hands down on either side of the body. From here, hands will come to the waist. We're going to step back now to come down to the mat. So a little step, bending the knee, lowering all the way down. Hand can rest to the knee if that suits you better. We're going to come through to an easy pose or cross-legged position. Find a position that suits you best, that's most comfortable for you. We're going to sit for a little while now for a breathing practice. So if you have a more comfortable position that you might feel better in, even if you're sitting on a chair, that might suit you best. You might want to lean against the wall if you need a bit of support for your back. Or maybe a cross-legged position is great for you today, whatever is right for your body. With our yoga practice, we're always drawing our attention to our breath and using our breath to help to open and shut, expand and contract the body. Our breath awareness is a very important part of our yoga practice, and pranayama is just as an important part, maybe even more important than our yoga postures. So bringing in a breathing exercise, a breathing practice into our daily lives, it might just be something that you can add in when you wake up in the morning or right before you go to bed. So today we're practicing alternate nostril breathing. This is a great practice to clear our mind. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. Our mind is racing. Maybe if we're feeling a little bit anxious even, any feelings of worry. Alternate nostril breathing is a great way to center our mind, gives us focus. It's a great way to balance the left and right side of the body too. So we'll just rest our left hand to our left knee. Maybe we've got our index finger and our thumb connected, and maybe they're just resting to our knee there. Perhaps that's a good position, or you can have your hand to your lap if you prefer. With our right hand, the thumb will rest to our right nostril. 2 piece fingers rest between the eyebrows. So maybe they're just lightly resting there. Our ring finger will rest to the left nostril and the pinky finger just relaxes. So we'll close the eyes here with our right hand resting over our face. And just take a breath in both nostrils. And a breath out both nostrils. Blocking our right nostril with our thumb. Let's breathe in solely through the left side. Pause at the top, awareness to where the two fingers rest between the eyebrows. Block the left now, release the right and breathe out through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Perhaps a slight pause, block the right, release the left, breathe out. That's one round. Breath back in through the left. Pause at the top. Breath out through the right. Breath back in through the right. Perhaps a pause. Breath out through the left side. Breath in again through the left. Breath out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. That's 3 rounds. Let's complete 3 more at our own breath count. So however long your breath, just continuing that triangle flow. And if you get lost, that's okay. Just starting back again. When you next breathe out through the left side, we rest our right hand back to our right knee or to our lap. And just pause, taking a couple of deep breaths through both nostrils and just notice what you find here. Maybe you notice that your mind feels a little clearer, you're a little calmer, a little more centered and focused. Maybe it's just a subtle difference that you notice. And then we'll gently blink our eyes back to it. From here, before we come down for our relaxation into Shavasana, let's just twist our spine a little bit, get a little bit of a release after sitting still. So if you are cross-legged or if you're in a seated position, let's just bring our right hand over to the left side and then bring our left fingers down beside us. Just a gentle, easy twist, a breath in to lengthen up, and then a breath out to twist through. Maybe you're just looking to the left side, or maybe you're looking behind you over your left shoulder. It's up to you how far you'd like to twist today. Another breath in here. And then as we breathe out, we'll release. Bring your left hand to the right side, maybe the knee. Right hand down beside the body. Breath in to lengthen. And breath out, twisting through to the right side, or maybe looking over your right shoulder. Gently releasing our back here. One more breath in. And a breath out, coming all the way back to the center. We're going to get ourselves ready for a relaxation now. So we'll release our legs out in front. If you need to give your legs a little bit of a shake or a wriggle, you might like to do that after sitting still for some time. And then you can either just lay yourself back comfortably if you choose, or maybe you'd like to bring your hands to prayer and slowly lower yourself down to the mat using your core muscles. If you're coming with me, take a breath in. And as we breathe out, slowly, with intention, with awareness, start to lengthen yourself back to the mat. When you reach the mat, you might like to bring the knees to the chest. Have a little rock before you lay still. Maybe you're already happy and comfortable. If you have a blanket around you, or you have something to place over your body, now is a great time to put any socks or jumpers, things on to keep you warm. And then when you're ready, lengthening our legs to the top of the mat, and let the arms rest down by the sides of the body. If you need to support your back, you might come into constructive rest pose where you bend your knees, step your feet to the width of the mat, and then allow the knees to fall into each other. If you're okay with the legs really long, you can just keep them long. Let the toes just open out to the edges of your mat. Make sure the legs are long or in a neutral position where you don't have to keep any muscles engaged. Let the glutes soften and relax, let the belly be loose, the spine long, and the shoulders draw away from the ears. With the arms resting by your sides, now that you're in Shavasana, we just turn the palms to face up and let the fingers just lightly curl. We want to make sure that the neck is long, so we tuck the chin just slightly towards the notch in the neck. Make sure the jaw is loose, there's no tension in the jaw, even if you just open and close the mouth a couple of times. And then closing the eyes. No particular expression on the face. Our body in a happy, neutral position now in corpse pose, Shavasana. The hardest pose to master, laying still. As we lay here, we become aware of our breath. Notice every breath in and the space and the expansion throughout the body, but especially across the chest. And then as we breathe out, we relax. We notice the chest gently contract, followed by another breath in. Just watching this continuous exchange of breath into and out of the body. Perhaps adding some words to your breath. I breathe in. I notice space. I breathe out. I let go. I breathe in. I am aware of space. I breathe out. I let go. I breathe in. I am aware of space. I breathe out. I let go. From here, we start to deepen our breath. Deepening the breath as we deepen our awareness of our bodies, laying here on our mats in our rooms. From where you are, we start to bring some movement into our toes and into our fingers. Starting to rotate the ankles and the wrists. And then also perhaps gently turning the head from side to side. A little bit of movement through the neck, through the spine. And then from here, we'll breathe in and sweep our arms up over the body, stretching and lengthening, maybe even yawning. You might point your toes and reach through the fingers, create as much length as you can in the body. And then release and sweep our arms all the way back down by our sides. When you're ready, slowly start to bring your knees to your chest. Take your time. And as we get our knees all the way into our chest, maybe you choose to have a little rock from side to side. Maybe make some circles with the knees, just sort of massaging your back. Do whatever feels best, whatever feels good here. And then when you're ready, roll into the right hand side. Letting the knees rest into the mat. And letting your arms perhaps just cradle the torso like you're giving yourself a hug. And just take a couple of moments there. Rest in. Thank yourself for taking this time just for you. And then when you're ready, we'll start to push our hands down into the mat and slowly bring ourselves up to a comfortable seat. Thank you for joining me today or whenever you're watching this. Thanks for joining me for your yoga practice. I hope you have a beautiful week and I'll see you again next week. Namaste.
Beautiful.